What's going on, people? We are live in the aftermath of the Community Shield, bro. Like, oh, mate, the guys are here. We got the Liverpool guy. We got the Arsenal guy. I still know that Grizz is going to be full of smoke, though. Like, even though them guys didn't get the win yesterday, I know that they're probably more optimistic for the season. Turkish, how you feeling, bro, after the W, fam?
It's obviously good to kick off the season with a win, isn't it? You know, but like you said, Grizz is gonna have the smoke. The Community Shield ain't really smoke. It's like vape, fam. It's like that vape stuff. Do you know what I mean? So we ain't got no
Yeah.
smoke. Go
I'm
on, Grizz.
already. I'm no, no. I'm already. I'm already. I love the way you lot call it the community shield, and you. Everyone's taking out the charity part. You know what I mean? But but it is what it is. Because I was saying to, a couple of guys, Arsenal boys, that listen. I don't know why you're going into it so negative. I seriously couldn't understand the Arsenal fans in the build-up. I don't know about your views, Turkish, but a lot of brothers were saying, "No, we're not ready. Our teams, you know, what I mean, we're gonna have El Neni playing, and Ceballos is not here, and Pepe is not ready." I said, listen, you've got the best coach you've had in ages, and he's got you set up nicely in every game against us so far, and against the big teams, Chelsea, Man City, last season. You know what I'm saying? So he's got a record against big teams. So and we're not gonna. And I knew we're not gonna take it too tough. And I said it's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be a proper game, and it was a proper game. It was a credit to Arsenal. It was a proper game.
You know what it is, yeah? I'd rather call it the Charity Shield, bro. The Community Shield makes it sound like one of these Instagram women that get passed around the ends, bro. A Community Shield,
Do
bro.
you know what I
A
mean?
Community Shield, bro. Like, it's like pass it around the community and it goes around the block and comes back. So I'd rather call it Charity Shield. But I know what you're saying, Grizz. I know that, yeah, Arteta sets up very well. You can see organization, you can see structure, and his best performances tactically have come against teams that are going to dominate possession, teams that are going to be on the front foot. That's my issue. Now, even for the Liverpool game, I predicted a 2-1 Liverpool win, but I wouldn't be surprised a swing either way or a 1-1 penalties, which it turned out to be. But, Grizz, yeah, it's not these games alone that matter in the season. It's how you're going to go set up against Fulham when they're putting 10 men behind the ball and you need to break them down. That's our problem. We beat Liverpool and City and then lost to Aston Villa because Aston Villa play a completely different style of game that we haven't got the creativity and talent to break down.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
You're spot on. But, and you know what I mean? Loads of Liverpool fans always tell me like I'm an undercover Arsenal fan. But this is what I'm going to say. I totally agree with what you're saying, yeah? But do you know what it is? No, but do you know what it is? He's the first coach that's not tried to go. He's smart. The rest of your coaches have tried to go toe-to-toe with us and get smashed every time. 4s and 3s. Every time it's easy.
Yeah.
Because they try to play Arsenal way. They try to play. He knows what he's got. He knows where he's at. And he's building from the back. And that's the first coach that's done that for you guys that I can remember. I thought when you guys got Emery, I thought, yeah, okay, they got a solid defensive coach who's going to play pure counter-attacking European football. He tried to go toe-to-toe with us. Every man tried to go toe-to-toe with us. This guy knows where he's at, where his team's at, where his players at. And I think it's positive. He's building, he's giving you a foundation to build on. And then you're right. The real test is going to be when you guys go away to Sheffield United and shit. Because that's when you know you get beat up and bullied.
Yeah. Listen, Grizz, I'm happy with Arteta. Trust me, Arteta does. I don't like this comparison with Klopp that people like to say because Klopp done his thing before he came to Liverpool. So I won't do that comparison. But you see similarities in the way he's improved the club in the short term with the organisation and structure. Klopp brought that in basically immediately. Now, with Arteta, he's got the fans on board now. That's something Emery failed to do. I think the fans are united behind Arteta now. That's a good thing. But these fans need to know when it doesn't work out, because it's not going to work out the way we're going right now in the transfer window. When it doesn't work out, where do we direct that energy? The energy needs to be directed at the people above. Now, Grizz, you're a Liverpool 100%. Fan, and that spirit of Shankly group and some of the things that they've done for the club in terms of the relations from top to bottom and the fan base, that's what we need at Arsenal Football Club to ensure that Arteta gets the support he needs to achieve what maybe Klopp has done at Liverpool Football Club. If he doesn't get that, bro, then as much as I agree with you now and say, listen, he's done all the right things, said all the right things, and he's doing all the right things now. But you look across London and you see Chelsea buying left, right, and centre, and you already know that bar a big slip up, Chelsea are going to be above Arsenal this season in the league, and that makes Liverpool, City, and Chelsea. Now there's one more spot for the top four, and Arteta's vision and what Arteta's saying alone isn't enough to get us that position, and he needs top four next summer to continue to build. Now, if we don't do enough this summer, which we haven't done so far, Grizz, it's going to be another season where the fan base is going to divide. It's going to be another season where potentially Aubameyang's contract is running down because that's not sorted. Another season where we've got Bellerin right back, Xhaka centre mid, an imbalance in the side, a slow transition. It's the same old problems every year for Arsenal Football Club. Like, there was one summer where Liverpool overhauled 8-9 players. Chelsea did the same thing in one summer, but I've got Arsenal fans telling me you can't sell more than 4 or 5 players in one window. They're delusional, and that's my problem, Grizz. It's the fan base and their understanding of the bigger picture. That's where I come into it. I wish I could be that fan that's got all the gusto at the beginning, that's troops, and will chat a bag of shit before the season starts, not caring how I'm going to look 2 weeks later when we might get an L against Fulham or something. Yeah. For me, it's always the bigger picture. Until we are top 3 in February, that's when the bigger picture will start changing for me, and I might start delivering another message. But until then, pessimistic all the way, man. I can't lie to you.
Real talk, I can't even, say nothing to that, because that's exactly how you feel about your club, and you know your club much better than me. And from the outset, I totally hear you with the ownership thing, because it makes total sense. Because funny enough, we're in the same boat, and that's mad to say. But the difference being, and this is why I got a seed of hope for you. I'm trying to put seeds of hope in all you Arsenal fans' heads. It's you finally got the man, though. You know, like how we got Klopp. So we got similar owners, sell to buy. We ain't investing they ain't investing their own money. Everything, but we got the right man. Everyone's saying, but you got the Klopp factor. There is no comparison to Klopp and Arteta. I hear you. And whoever's saying that, don't know what they're smoking on Sunday morning or whatever, But what I'm saying is, it's a seed, though. You got the right man. I think most Arsenal fans should see that, at least, as you are. So you're saying that, it's a start. It's a positive start. And he knows where he's going. He's got a vision. The other coaches, to me, didn't seem to have a vision. Now, the owners will eventually, you'd like to think, have to back him. When they see what he's doing on a pitch with no funds, with no backing, then, they automatically, because that's what Klopp done. Klopp forced FSG kind of thing to say, look, I'm the Don here. You know what I'm doing. You see my record in Europe and everything. You got to get me Alisson and VVD. I don't care. I'll wait 2 years, 1 year, 1.5 years. Be a target. And that's why I think Arteta's on the right path. I hear you. Of course, it's a long road. And there was Arsenal fans in my mentions, and Rants knows I give as good as I get. You know what I mean? But it's all brilliant. It's all lovely. It's all banter. But you're right. Some of them are deluded, on a different level. But I think that's just hopefully the real mans that go to the Emirates every week in, week out know the deal. You know what I mean? They know where they're at. But I still think it's a start.
I wish that was the case, man. Some of the match-going fans are the worst fans to really? Debate with. That's why the problem is a lot more deep-rooted. Some of these, let me quote marks, proper Arsenal people don't like to hear the realness, the reality of the situation. At the end of the day, I even look at your team, Grizz, and I say, do you think Klopp would have had the chance for that overhaul if Suarez and Coutinho sales weren't brought in? Because you see Liverpool now, the fan base is actually, people won't see it in the media because you're winning, but the fan base is actually putting some pressure on FSG, because this is a second summer window now that it looks like there's not going to be much money spent. And we all know how difficult it is to win back-to-back league titles. So what Liverpool are doing now, it's a bit of a risk, You want to improve your side. And when you're at the top, like Liverpool are right now, in the modern game, there's a span on that. Yeah, you need to stay
it's
up
a massive risk. It's a massive risk, bro. I remember saying to the guys, when United won the Champions League in 2008 and they didn't strengthen, that was the beginning of the end for us, bro. I keep saying it. We sold Cristiano and we brought in Valencia, and it went downhill from there, bro. Like at the end of the day, when you win, you need to continue to strengthen, because everyone, bro, you put a bullseye on your head as soon as you start winning stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And everyone reacts to what you do. And if you don't react to what you've done, you then end up playing catch up. And I think that that's what could be potentially dangerous for Liverpool if they don't bring in someone else. But if they bring in Thiago, all of a sudden, then no one's talking anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a massive, it's a massive player.
Thiago's near enough a done deal. Don't watch that. But I totally agree with what you're saying overall, because you said like Turkish, you were saying about real Arsenal fans. We get the same term, top Reds. Yeah. That we get the same term thrown at certain fans, like they don't see nothing beyond just what's happening on the pitch right now. They don't see the future. They haven't got foresight. Yeah. But I hear exactly what Rant's saying. I agree as well. There comes a point where he can't pull out, rabbits every time. Klopp and Edwards won't be able to just find 20 million gems, 30 million gems every time. Our owners have been bad boys overall. Overall, they've been bad boys. You can't really criticize them right now. But the moment it starts stalling, as Rant's saying, and the moment we don't see progression, or we're going back to fighting for top 4 from the position we're in, then that's where the noise is going to start coming from, because of the not net spend per se, but investment. It's got to be investment in the team at some point to keep up. Look, it's not easy keeping up with the Mansours and the Abramovich of this world, man. Let's get real. We have to be smart. Teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs have to be smart, and even United to a certain extent, right? But United haven't been smart in the transfer market. We have. The difference is we've been smart. Our recruitment team is top notch, but at some point they're going to have some help from elsewhere. That's when it's going to get tricky.
100%. You need ownership that's going to be consistently active, to say the least. Whether you're winning leagues or trying to get top 4 or trying to avoid relegation, you need ownership that's active every season on the ball, knows what they're trying to do in 6 months, knows what they're trying to do in 18 months, and knows what the 5-year long-term plan is. That's where we've been let down at Arsenal Football Club. We've been told the right things, that we're moving to Emirates to compete with Bayern Munich. And here Bayern Munich are winning Champions Leagues. And our last Champions League tie was a 10-2 two-leg result against Bayern Munich. So it's just like, come on, you're saying the right things, but that plan wasn't there, bro. That plan wasn't there. And that's why I am the way I am. Do you know how much stick I've got for yesterday's interview? Because I've told people not to get carried away. Because I've told people that Tottenham are buying Doherty on top of Aurier, who is already better than our right backs. I was waved. I had a Henny in my hand, and a lot of people are using that as the excuse. There ain't no Henny in my hand today. It's 11 in the morning, and I'll still say over the last 3 years, Aurier has been a better right back than Hector Bellerin. And I'm not even saying Aurier is a good right back. I'm just trying to show the fan base, open some eyes, that it's not good enough. They've just bought Doherty, who's probably a top 3 to 5 right back in this league. We could have him. He's an Arsenal fan. He's 28 years of age. We're dealing with balls for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Be smart about it. If we have no money, get the right swaps in.
100%, bro.
Smart. You're right.
100%. That's mad.
I'm not gonna. He's right though. He's right, because Arsenal need to. Because Arsenal, I find them like extremes. There's 2 extremes. You're either buying has-beens, and I'm not saying Willian is a has-been, but he's seen better days. We know that. We all admit. Now we'll all admit he's a baller on his day, but he's not what, in my opinion, not what you need at this stage of your development, right? Especially when you got young stars, like if you're trying to get rid of Ainsley and which is a mad move if you're trying to get rid of him. But I can understand if you're trying to get money for him to maybe fund a Partey. That's the only reason Arsenal fans will allow it, probably. If I was an Arsenal fan, that's the only reason if Arsenal would say, yeah, okay, fine, we're trying to raise funds. But you're right, people like Doherty, that's smart. That's a smart move. He's a Premier League ready player. He might not be glamorous. He might not have the sauce. You understand all them things, right? But he's ready made. He's a proper professional. And that's sometimes what Arsenal need. But they look beyond proper professional player. They're looking, you know, either young Salibas and Gabriels who are untried, or they're looking has-beens, you know, like, you know, Willian. There's no in between.
Grizz, look at our fan base. You lot had to sell Suarez and Coutinho to reinvest, and imagine how you felt about selling Suarez and Coutinho. Our fans are up in arms because Bellerin and Maitland-Niles are up for debate. They're saying Coutinho or Suarez, you know? Can't we just look over and think these are some of the difficult decisions that are going to have to be made? Yes, we've got some fan favourites in there for whatever reason. They're fan favourites for God knows. But we've seen Liverpool have to sell some of the best, well, a couple of the best players this league has seen, Suarez and Coutinho, to get to where they are now. So as a fan base, just open your eyes. If we trust Arteta fully. Don't be questioning why Maitland-Niles is linked with Wolves or why Bellerin might be offered to PSG and Juve. Trust what he's trying to do, because so far so good.
But the problem is for you guys, it's the track record of your owners not reinvesting that money on a wise one. You understand? That's the problem. See, sorry.
I just need that. You're right. But without those sales done, it gives other fans the chance to say to me, Grizz Rants, they say to me like, oh, we can't get rid of those players. So I need the club to get rid of these players. So when Kroenke doesn't reinvest, I can say, see, look who it is. It wasn't a case of we can't get rid of players. It wasn't a case of we can't do this. It's a case of the guy don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Bruv, hey Grizz, they're saying, how does Thiago fit into your system, bro? Like, you lot play this heavy pressing midfield football. How does Thiago fit into that, bro?
Bruv, Thiago fits into any system in world football, right? You make space for elite players like Thiago. You make formations, and people have been saying, so many top res again have been saying, oh, we play different. Thiago's different. Listen, we see yesterday, for example, when teams play 9 people at the back, because Arsenal did. Come on, Turkish, let's get it real. You will not play 9-1-1 or something, yeah? But when you play systems like that, when you come up against systems like that, you need something different. And he's going to add something different to us. I think, in my opinion, he's probably, you know what, I'm thinking who's a better deep lying 6 than Thiago in world football, and I seriously can't think of one at the top of my head. And I'm not being biased because he's linked with Liverpool or something. It might be Sunday morning. You guys might be able to help me out. But Thiago is elite footballer, and if a man like Thiago is saying he wants to come to Liverpool, he wants to work under Klopp, you just don't pass. You know, you don't pass that, and that's where Liverpool fans' frustration again. Turkish, what you were saying to is. But our owners are trying to get the best deal. We're trying to sort of get him on the cheap. Like, his club are saying take him for 27 million euros, and we're offering 21, 22. You know, we're playing about, and that's the frustration from Liverpool fans. But in terms of Thiago fitting into our system, listen, we saw yesterday second half when we pinned Arsenal near enough in their penalty area. We switched to a 4-2-3-1 with Gini and Naby as a base. Thiago could sit there all day long, eyes closed, do that job. He can also, and the funny thing is, when he started off, people forget, he can also play as an 8 because the man's got vision, touch, skill, everything. But the fact that he's 29 now, he's settled into this sort of 6. You know what I mean? So, and there's going to be games every 3 days. This is a mad season. People forget we're literally going to be playing every 3 days. Every 3 days. So you need rotation, you need options. You know, Milner's seen his best days. I even think, I was not dealing with Turkish because I was agreeing about Bellerin and Niles and whatever, because we're having similar things said about Gini. People are saying, no, we can't be selling Gini to fund a next man. But trust Klopp. If that's what Klopp and Edwards are saying, that's what's needed. We don't know. We've got. I reckon Gini's done like a world tour, like running world tour in his 4 years. I think he's run the world. We may have burnt him out. We may have, because the man runs a marathon every game. and he's been doing it for 3-4 years non-stop. So maybe the analysts at Liverpool have seen that he's on the wane, and he needs to, he needs to be changed now or rotated far more. But people don't see this. No, we can't be saying Gini. He's a Champions League winner. He's integral. Of course he has. Bare respect for Gini, but trust the process. Trust Klopp. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, against teams that sit back, you're right. Thiago's perfect. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to do as much running in the midfield. You just need to control the flow of the game, innit? And I think he gives you that. So if you do get him in for them peanuts, I think that you're gonna absolutely batter some teams, because his use of the ball is the most impressive thing about his game, really.
And what happens with Liverpool is as a Liverpool fan, I've seen it, and I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. Every year we've evolved and improved, right, to a different level, right? So, and now people are saying, "Oh, you know what? They've been found out. They're in trouble now. People know how to play them." Well, maybe that's why we want Thiago, because he knows, all right, we need another option. So it makes sense in every way for me.
Yeah, it's another strap to the Arsenal, isn't it? So it's like you said, after 2 years of pretty much dominating or being up there in the league, teams are going to figure this and that out. Teams are going to figure that it's Salah, Mane, it's Robertson, Arnold, and now you're bringing in Thiago. It's going to be another strap to the Arsenal. And I feel like going into the season, Klopp is smart enough to know that teams ain't going to expect some of the football to come through the middle, because it's been coming down the flanks for the last 2-3 years. So it's a bit of a change up, and it's needed, to keep yourself at the top. You need to keep yourself on your toes, and the rest of the team. So I rate that sign, and I'm vexed. But you got me in the middle here. On one side we got Fernandes and Pogba in the middle of the park. The other one we got Thiago coming in, and I've got Xhaka and Nene. Like, this ain't the topic for me, man.
Bro. No, but the thing is, again, because I've been bigging up Arteta for months, right? But again, he knows what he wants, though. Listen, if you guys manage to get Partey, bro, you're in the top 4 mix. I'm saying it straight, because he's probably one of the top 5 DMs in world football right now. Thomas Partey is exactly what you need. It's not a fantasy signing like Pepe. You got your Pepes and Lacazettes and Aubameyangs. You got your creativity, whatever. You man still can get bullied in midfield. And Arsenal fans will know that more than anyone. Thomas Partey is what you need, and it's at least it's hopeful for you guys to know that at least he knows what he wants. He's so adamant that he wants Partey or something like that, or someone like that, which is
Grizz. Sorry, I got to cut you off there, because Unai Emery wanted Thomas Partey, and the board gave him Lucas Torreira, bro. So he came out after he got sacked and said he wanted Partey. So it's like, all right, the fan base got onto Emery's neck towards the end of the season, and he come out and said, in the summer, I wanted first he said he wanted Fabinho. The year you got him for 40 mil, he said he wanted Fabinho that year, but instead he got Torreira. Then the year after he wanted Partey, and instead they brought somebody else in, or I don't know what happened. But if those names come in, then maybe the pressure on Emery's back is we look at it different now. Now Arteta's pretty much saying the same things. I think he needs Partey. You're right. We need Partey, but we're probably going to go get a cheaper option somewhere, because that's just the Arsenal way of doing things. And when you do that, the transition takes so much longer, because you're buying players to develop before achieving. Whereas Partey's developed, he's ready to achieve. That's what we need.
See, we waited.
Loads of guys.
We were patient.
1 second. These guys saying United are in for Thiago, bro. Don't believe that. Like, I'm tired of this club, briefing the press and all of that, brother. We've been quiet the whole time, Then all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, we're in for Donny van der Beek, we're in for Thiago, we're in for everyone. We're not in for these guys, bro. Like, we're not in for Thiago. Like, I do not believe that for 1 second. I would love to believe that, but these guys, when it comes to PR, Manchester United are the best team in the world, bro. Like, it's just PR. It's nonsense, isn't it? They're not in for him. The whole Donny thing, The only reason why the Donny thing's coming up now again is because these guys put all their eggs in the Aston Villa getting relegated basket, and Aston Villa have stayed up. So now they don't want to spend the money on Grealish. So now they're looking at alternatives when really they should be signing Jack Grealish for whatever he costs because he's Premier League proven. He's a top player. He's an English player. Go get him. Do you know what I mean? But they're gonna go for Donny because he's got 40 million release clause, 40 million euros. But it's a joke. Like really, you shouldn't be choosing someone that's playing in Holland over someone here that we know can do what he can do. Because either one of them, they're not necessarily walking into the starting lineup. I'd say Grealish probably walks in ahead of Rashford right now, the way Rashford's been playing. However, like Van der Beek just reminds me of like Ander Herrera, bruv. Just a bit more, more technical.
Don't say that. Don't say
I swear
that, bro.
down. He just reminds me of a more technically sound Ander Herrera, bro. They're both like the same. They're not. He's not dirty like Herrera, but I mean, in terms of the runs he tries to make, like Herrera's an 8. People forget. We bought Herrera as an 8, and then Jose tried to turn him into this kind of midfield destroyer. But Ander Herrera likes to play football, bro. Like he even got the assist for PSG in the Champions League. Was it the final? Yeah, that's what I mean. Ander Herrera's got decent feet, bro. Yeah. He's got good feet, bro. And Donny reminds me of that guy, bro. Like just with a bit more culture about him, but they're similar kind of players. And I'm like, you don't go for that. That's not what we need. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy saying he's similar to Aaron Ramsey. And again, I don't even want an Aaron Ramsey, bro. Like, no disrespect.
No,
I want Aaron Ramsey. I want Jack Grealish.
You lot don't need that right now, in my opinion, with Van der Beek, because Van der Beek is someone Arsenal need in terms of goals from midfield, timing into the box. We need someone that's going to replace that Ramsey. Not that Ramsey was the man, but we need someone from midfield who's going to get into good positions and take attention away from the attackers. So for Arsenal Football Club, Van der Beek all day. Now, Rants, you see with Man United, yeah, sometimes I look at your signings, yeah, and I get the premise behind saying you want Grealish ahead. It's completely understandable, yeah. But you see what it is. You see, if you lot sign Van der Beek for 40 mil, it's less pressure on the club, less pressure on him. Whereas if you sign Grealish for 80 mil, being British, being Man United, you already know the first sign of something going wrong, the media are going to be like 80 mil, or the other fans are going to be like 80 mil, and it's just.
But I don't think he costs 80 though. I don't think he costs 80. These men are saying, they want Donny because Donny can play 6, 8, and 10. Yeah, cool. But you don't bring in someone that can play 6, 8, and 10, to play him in the 6, bro, because that's his weakest position out of all of them. You're better off going and signing someone that can play in the 6. Or if you want someone that's going to play in the 10, sign someone that plays in the 10. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they're hedging their bets with this brother because he can kind of do loads of different jobs, but you know what I mean? I'm not spending 40 million euros on someone to do a job, bro. Like, we need someone that's going to come in straight into the starting lineup. Where does he fit into the starting lineup with Pogba and Bruno in there?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Van der Beek, you don't need Van der Beek.
But that's what I'm saying. Whereas Grealish can play from the left. Do you know what I'm saying? So at least if he doesn't come in the midfield, he can play left midfield, bro. Like, which we've seen him do, and he scores from there. He's effective. But bringing in, he's not. I don't understand how he's a priority. I don't understand how he's a priority. That shows me the club don't know what they're doing.
You know what? I don't even see. I hear Sancho. Look, I know Sancho is a bad boy. Anyone who says he's not a bad boy is being stupid, right? And bitter. He's an absolute bad boy. But again, and I was chatting to some mates, and I was like, if you guys go on, because you will end up paying the asking price. Let's not get it twisted. If you get, you're gonna get. You're over a barrel, you always do. You end up paying top dollar for players, right? Because that's the way it works. When Man United mentioned, when Chelsea mentioned, you end up paying top dollar. Is there any budget for any other position for you guys? Because looking from the other side, gleefully, I'd be happy if you just get Sancho. Because you need a left back. You need a centre back. Okay, the goalkeeper, you might keep Henderson. Because I think De Gea is on his way out as well. I don't think he's the same keeper he was. Left back, centre back, and for me, I think you need a DM. So that's 3 positions that are far more priority, in my opinion. Looking from the outside as a potential rival. I'm just going to call you potential rival because we don't know how season's going to pan out. I'm just going to call you potential right now. I'd say there's 3 positions that are far more crucial than Van der Beek and Sancho, in my opinion, and a fee that's asking for Sancho.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I look at the season and I think that I can't lie to you. Thomas Partey will be perfect fit for United. Thomas Partey, Pogba, and
Yeah.
Fernandes
Swear
in
down.
front. That three, and that actually improves the front three because there's
This
less
is it.
pressure on them. Like
Yeah.
people just want the flashy name sometimes, and then the Sanchos. And who doesn't want Sancho? But sometimes be shrewd, get that 50 million Partey in, release Pogba and Fernandes a bit more, and in turn they released Martial, Rashford a bit more. And in turn, it's a better flow in and a lot more fluidity and transition in the team. So I agree with Grizz, man. I feel like there's other areas that Man United should focus on now to release some of the talent they have in the squad already. And it can be done. I'm just hoping I don't wake up one day and United are doing that 50 mil Partey release because they will do it. If they're interested, they will do it.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is the problem, guys. We need a DM. We need a DM. We need a right winger, and we probably need another centre back. But man, are talking about Donny, and I'm meant to get excited. I can't get excited about a squad player when we've got starting 11 issues that need to be addressed. Do you know what I mean? I think these men watch too many YouTube compilations and they get excited. I don't care about all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because these men are saying, oh yeah, Donny scores goals and creates goals. So what, you man dropping your boy Bruno then? Do you know what I mean? You lot's flipping obsession with this Bruno fella, bruv. So half of our fan base are literally just tossing him off, bruv. Love the guy. So what? Is Bruno getting benched then? Or you're going to bring in my man to sit on the bench for 40 million, yeah? In this so-called COVID climate, bro. Like, if this is a COVID climate and there's not a lot of money to spend, why are you going to waste 40 million euros on someone to sit on the bench when we have players to address in the starting 11? It doesn't make sense, guys. It's like these guys are getting excited and they just want to sign anyone for the sake of it. If you have to limit the amount you spend, spend wisely. Spending 40 million on someone to come and sit on the bench don't make sense to me now. It doesn't.
Our fans are,
not the stage. Not the stage.
Sorry, Grizz.
Not the stage that United
are. Our fans are desperate. Like, it's like as soon as we're linked to a name, yeah, it doesn't matter who the name is. Arsenal fans are a bit more desperate than United, but it's like as soon as we're linked to a name, we don't think about the reality of the name, the situation, the position, and the improvement. We just think about the name. Like, look at Arsenal fans tracking Gabriel's flight, bro. Gabriel's flight. The guy's played 50 games in Europe, yeah, and the fan base is tracking his flight, fam. Like back in the day, growing up, a comparison is like tracking Philip Senderos's flight. Someone that's coming in who might become a top defender. But miss me with that shit. Like, stop tracking these man's flights because you're putting pressure on the guy already. He's already trending on Twitter because you stupid fans want to follow his flight, follow his minicab, follow this and that. See who he's following on Instagram. Let the guy make his move, and then let's see what he's about before we cause this big stir about him. Because no one knows what the fuck Gabriel's going to do at this club. Yeah. You know, and that's not being me being negative because he looks like a good signing. But I'm not going to put my neck out there and say he's the one because nobody knows if he's the one, and that's the honest truth.
You know what? Tracking business is jokes because I thought only Scousers done it. I'm not gonna lie, because we were tracking Vitos. You know, the Mercedes Vito vans, because apparently that's where our signings come in through black top. And
same.
There was one stage. Is it same? So,
yeah.
So one summer, our fans were just tracking every Vito flying around in Liverpool and saying there's a potential signing in there. It gets silly, it gets stupid, but you're right. You can understand if it's for a ready-made star. Like if man like Bergkamp was on that flight, then you can understand the hype. You can understand the following. Yeah. But you're right. You're signing a potential, player that you said has only played 40, 50 games in Europe. Relax. Relax, bro.
But this is the problem with these football fans. They get so carried away. And then you know what it is? When you take a level-headed approach, their man say that you're negative. No, I'm not negative. I'm just not an idiot, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm just not an idiot, bro. Do you know what I mean? If you're telling me, for instance, that we only have Jadon Sancho money and maybe one other player money, why the hell are we buying a player to sit on the bench? Because United aren't probably going to sign more than 2 players. So what? Your second player is going to be someone to come in and sit on the bench when we've got clear deficiencies in the starting 11. What kind of challenge are you looking to make by bringing in someone to come sit on the bench? It's stupid, bro. It
Because
doesn't
we
make
know
no
what's going to
sense.
come around the corner already, bro. Like me, Arsenal United have been on a roundabout for the last, well, we've been on a roundabout for 10 plus years. You lot have probably been on a little roundabout for 5 plus years. But when you see constantly that the problems on the pitch, the first 11 are not getting fixed, you know what's coming. Like I can tell everyone now, at some point this season, Louise is going to look like a clown at one point and cost us a goal and a penny. I can tell you the same about Mustafi and Bellerin and Xhaka. It's going to happen this season because it's happened so many times before. It's going to happen. And when it happens, I'm just going to look at these fans and just say less, because there's nothing more I can say than talk in the transfer window about what we have to do. Because once the season starts, you're lumped with these players and you just got to do what you got to do.
That's what I'm saying. And now guys saying, oh, United will play Donny as a DM. But Donny costs you what? 5 million euros cheap, less than Thomas Partey, but you're going to buy Van der Beek. Do you know what I mean? That don't make no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to play him as a DM, buy someone that could play DM better than him. Even though Partey like could play box to box, he could play as the deepest man. That's not Donny's best role. That's probably his third best role out of all the midfield roles. Why would you spend that money on him to put square pegs in round holes? It's not efficient business, bro. It's not. Like, how much did Liverpool play for Fabinho? Like 40. What? 40. Well, there you go. And we're gonna pay 40 million for a benchman.
No, he's not a DM at all. Donny is, as you said earlier, I was thinking about it, and you're right. He is a more technical Herrera. He's energetic. He gets around the pitch. He links up play. He's not a DM. If you guys play him in DM alongside Bruno and Pogba, boy, I'd love to. I'm talking about a Liverpool fan. We'd love to play that midfield, man. We'd love to play against that midfield. If you think he's going to protect Harry Maguire and Lindelof,
that's what I mean. There's no defensive discipline in that midfield. If you play all three of them, there's no defensive discipline. They'll get ran through. Do you know what I mean? They'll get ran through with ease against any decent, balanced midfield. It's not a good idea. Do you know what I mean? So when guys are saying we're going to play him DM, come on, guys. You don't honestly want that. Because if you want that, you're going to see chaos in it. One game, we're just going to get absolutely pammed. That's just what's going to happen.
I haven't even seen United get linked to any left backs. You're not even looking. I think you're very happy with Brandon Williams and Shaw, which is good.
Brandon Williams got a new deal.
Okay, which is good for my FPL because Shaw's one of the cheapest defenders in the FPL at a top club. So I'm bringing him in, right? But he ain't good for you. He ain't good for you on the pitch, bro. I don't know. I'm happy if you're not linked to any left back. And I don't know. You might know of any links, that rumors in the media. I haven't seen. I think you're very satisfied with them two as your fullbacks.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it, but
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Arsenal. I was very jealous of Arsenal when you got Tierney in. Like I know certain people were saying, "Oh, he's coming from Celtic," but I said it from the start to every Arsenal man. You finally got a proper bad boy defender. Proper, he can go forward, he can back, and he's got that grip. He's got that Scottish spirit in him, man. I'm telling you. Forget the name. Forget where he came from. Yeah. Forget he might even have bad breath. Don't worry about all that shit. The guy can defend hard, and he's exactly what you mans need. And look, he
was probably my man of the match yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, he came off earlier, so I understand why Maitland-Niles got it. But up until that point, Tierney was bad boy. And our left centre back as well. It's like he's switched up his position for a little while, and he's still doing his thing, you know.
Bruv,
how much was he?
Laughing.
How much was
25 mil they paid for Tierney, I think.
Yeah.
Bargain.
That's one of the bargain buys of recent times. 25 million is nothing, bro. It's nothing in football, you know.
No,
it's not. And plus, the only thing you got to manage with him is his injuries. And people play, but that's down to him and the fitness coaches at Arsenal if you can manage that. But on the pitch, that's some sick bargain, man. And what, especially like you're paying, how much you paying for Gabriel? Unknown, totally unknown. 35.
They're saying 27 mil or something. They're saying.
Yeah.
And he could turn out to be Mikel Silvestre, bruv. Man don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet, innit? That's the thing. Like, fans act like they know, but they don't know nothing until it happens, you know. Fans need to take a step back. Until someone does something for my club, yeah, he's nobody to me. That's how I look at it. Do something for my club, you become somebody.
I want to know about your exactly. I don't want to know about your ratings on FIFA and what you're like. Come and do it for my team. You're right, 100%, 100%.
Too many times I hear Ozil's won the World Cup. Who the fuck cares if Ozil's won the World Cup, blood? What's that got to do with me? Like, leave that at home, man. That's got nothing to do with Arsenal Football Club or me, bro.
But this is it. That's why I like you, Turkish, bruv, because you just keep it all the way 100, bro. Like, man get gassed over the dumbest things, bro. Like, ultimately, yeah, we want our clubs to be the best they can be, in it. So you have to think logically. There's too many emotional men in this game of football, bruv.
That's it. And I already see so many men in the comments, yeah. Turkish, you're so negative. Turkish, this, that. Listen, it's the reality of the situation. And if you don't like it, yeah, then what can I say to you? You're going to need to watch the other YouTubers that are more entertainers, because I'm not an entertainer, fam. I'm just going to give it to you how I see it. Right or wrong in the end, I'm going to give it to you how I see it. That's all I can do.
This is it, bruv. All right, man said, speaking of flops, let's talk about Maguire. Let's not talk about Maguire today. You know, let's not, bruv. I think he's had enough press, you know, like that. So man's not really going to talk about that. This guy saying, yeah, Partey's never been a holding DM. Yeah, we know that. But he can play as the deepest player. The thing is, when you're playing against teams that you're clearly better than in a positive system, you don't even need a defensive midfielder. You don't need one. You just need someone that can clean up, bruv, and distribute the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need someone that's going to sit because the other team's sitting. So you don't need to sit.
Yeah. Listen, no, you're right.
Listen, we've proved that before Fabinho, Henderson was on number 6. Now you're trying to tell me Henderson is that me? Am I here? Are we here?
Yeah, you're here. You're here.
No, you're here. I just jumped out because he said my camera's gone blurry.
We had Mr. Jordan Henderson sitting at number 6, which proves you don't really need a professional DM. You need to have the right system, and above anything else, the right combination. It's all about finding the right combination. Like yesterday, if you told me Oneni and Xhaka are gonna stop us from sort of basically scoring the 80th minute, I would have laughed at you. But you found a system, you found a combination that worked. So that's what it's about, and you got to trust your coaches to do that.
Yeah, bruv, you do, bruv, because sometimes it's all about the transition, the fluidity. It's not necessarily about that man's doing that man's doing that man's doing that. Sometimes it's about cover the guy next to you, you know, support the guy next to you, fill in the spaces, be smart. It's all up here now, you know. A lot of football is all up here. You do what you need to do up here on the pitch. Then the other 20% is the quality talent that's on the other end, the attack side, you know. A lot of it is just being smart, playing structured, playing organized. Hence why Arteta's made a change. You know, once you start seeing a bit more nous and a bit more knowledge being implemented into the side, you see a better structure, a better shape. And I'm not saying this 100%. Is the one, because you need to add that quality on the other end, and you need to add that quality so Liverpool are not pressing you for the last 40 minutes on the back foot. You know, it's all good and well, we got the result in the end, but how do we improve on it? We improve on it by looking at that last 40 minutes, understanding why we were on the back foot for the whole second half, and trying to work out a way to turn that 40 minutes into 20 minutes and then turn that 20 minutes to domination of the match, slowly but surely. But yeah, you're right, Grizz, man. It's all about the combination and the fluidity in the team, not necessarily the DM or what he does breaks it down. Nah, there's a lot more to it. I think Kante was the last person who's really been lauded for that break-up play and just give it off. Since then, in Liverpool and Man City, because even with Fernandinho, I wouldn't call him the old school type of DM. He cleans up, but he goes box to box too. He's in and around the box sometimes too. So I wouldn't call him a DM like that.
He scored goals.
Yeah, but he is their DM. You know, it's just the role has changed.
Absolutely. As long that means you're just the deepest man. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you have to sit there and not cross the halfway line. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not the way Makelele used to play it. Like, the modern game's changed, bruv. Everything's more fluid. Everything's more interchangeable. So you don't need an out sitting DM, bro. It just doesn't exist, bro. Do you know what I mean? So I think that there's loads of players that can play there.
That's why I'm happy that man's got Matic standing there like a scarecrow. I'm very happy.
Well, bruv, there you go. You know what I
If you
mean?
don't-
Because even
if you don't,
like, bruv, the fact that you said that you could play Henderson there and that's not his role, that shows it all. That shows it all, bro. Like literally, you just need to have a good system, and anyone can play. Anyone can play there, man. So honestly, it's the mental side, innit? You need a player that's got the discipline to play that role, and that's why I don't believe in bringing in someone that doesn't play there to do a job, bro. Like protecting your defense is not somewhere you just bring someone to do a job in it if they don't have the discipline, because you could end up coming unstuck. So that's why I believe if you want like a holding player, get a specialist in that position or just leave it as it is. I'm just not on this patch up job. Loads of people are saying, oh yeah, but we need depth in the Champions League. Forget depth in the Champions League. We need to start an 11 in the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? Or else we're gonna get slapped all over the place. Forget about what's coming off the bench. If what's starting ain't good enough, we're going to get humbled. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to the Champions League. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to it because I've seen this team, yeah, and I look at them, they're not good enough. They're not good enough to be there based on not necessarily the players, but the system that we play or lack of system and the way we play and the lack of cohesion as a side. We're in a lot of trouble if we come up against a team that's got it together because we needed a penalty to beat flipping Copenhagen. Do you know what I mean? We literally got through most of the knockout stages with penalties.
Yeah, it is mad. And what you say was my worry about Arsenal. People want to talk about Arsenal getting the top 4 in Champions League. Like you said, Rants, fam, are you ready? Are we ready? Well, we're essentially not. We're far off you, man. But I get that concern, bro. Because you want to, bro, you support Man United. You've seen your club win this trophy. So you want to go in there ready, firepower. You want to go in there confident. You want to go in there boasty. You want to go in there chatting shit. But in the reality of it is you're also not going to put your neck on the line and make yourself look stupid later on down the line because too many people do that at football clubs. Too many fans are like that. They want to stay blind and support without actually understanding that, listen, the reality is Man United at the moment don't seem ready for Champions League. So that concern for me makes sense. It completely makes sense. Yes, I'm envious you have it. But at the same time, do I want to see, it's not going to happen to you, but like I said, our last Champions League game was 10-2 to Bayern Munich. I'm not looking to re-enter Champions League like that. Yeah, I'm looking to come back in the Champions League properly.
Bruv, look at that. There you go. United couldn't score from open play in 2 full games plus extra time. A man are talking about buying players for the bench. Listen.
Do you know what? I you know what? If in a funny way, if the roles reverse, like I see United with a lot of good players just being put on the pitch and deal with it. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's good like that. Your front three is sick. You know, it's probably one of the best attacking units with Bruno and Pogba behind, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see a system. I don't see it being coached. Now, Arsenal, I see get coached, but I don't see the quality of player in their squad to take them to the next level. So if Arteta even had that level of player, I think he'd do well in Europe. You know, he just Arteta's got the brain and the coaching ability, but he hasn't got the players. Whereas Ole has got the players, but he hasn't got the coaching ability. In my opinion, you know, so it's a mad switch.
This
perfect.
So we finish outside the top 4, worrying we can't make one final at 3. Man management also gets you. Is there any way Oli could get United into the top 3? Can't see it. Good to see Turkish and Grizz big up. Hell no. We ain't getting the top 3. Ahead of who? Well, ahead of Chelsea, who are spending money. Ahead of City and Liverpool. No chance. Now, I mean, we'll be lucky to finish in the top 4 next season because at least Tottenham are doing business and they'll have a full season of Jose as well. Like shithousing his way through the league. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't finish in the top 4 with the current squad and the manager. Not because I don't think the players are good enough, because I still think our players are better than Tottenham's, bro. But Ollie's not the guy, bro. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. It's very clear to see. How can you have all them good players and you're still going to penalties? I'm relying on penalties against FC Copenhagen, bro. FC Copenhagen. Them kind of teams you're meant to put 4 past at their own place, bro. And we're going penalties, extra time pens against these men because we can't play football. And we're relying on players to figure it out for themselves on the pitch. I'm always seeing it, bruv. And that's why Saeed calls him Oli Gunner freestyle, bruv, because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, bruv. We've got players literally trying to figure it out for themselves. The door's locked. We have to find a way into the house, bruv. every time.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly how I'll see it from the outside. A bunch of good players just gone. You know, like I used to run a Sunday league team, yeah, and it's like just, you know, I didn't have no fucking coaching
You
credentials.
go out
So
there and
what
have
I
fun,
used to
lad.
do, I used to just sweep up the local talent, yeah, just use my connects to get all the bad boys from the local ends and say, go and play your football, man. And that's what a team like Ole's
Yeah.
doing in the Premier League, man.
Bruv, if you can honestly tell me that United don't have good players, you're laughing, bro. The teams that I'm seeing, like for instance, when we went to Southampton, Southampton ran us ragged, yeah. Southampton, all of our players on the bench at our team, yeah, play for Southampton, no problem. So man are saying, oh yeah, we don't have the players, but how come when the Southampton managers got worse players, man are running us into the floor? Why? Why is that happening? Because they're better coached. Like it's not rocket science, bro. A well-coached team with mediocre players can always beat good players that aren't coached, bro. Always. It's a team game,
Listen,
bro.
and who's been the two probably best examples this season? Wolves and Sheffield United. Name me. All right. Wolves might say there's probably world class, maybe, yeah. But name a world class player in either squad. But look how they're coached and look how they're drilled and look how they seem on the pitch where everyone knows their role and they're playing these teams control. Not many teams control big, like not many lower teams control games in against big opposition unless you're coached and drilled. You know, most teams just play defensive, and that's easy to do. Me, you, all of us can just go and get 11 people to stay behind the ball, like tall, physical, strong players. But to be able to control and possession be 50-50 against a top balling team, you need to be coached and have patterns of play. And they're two examples of very good coaches that do their work on the training ground. I don't know about Ole, man. I'm happy that he's still there at the wheel, you know, carry on.
Bruv, like even he's saying about RB, yeah. When you look at Leipzig, you know what's funny, yeah? If they never had such a good coach, everyone wouldn't be screaming about, yeah, let's go get their players.
Yeah.
Because they're good players, but ultimately the system means that when they do sell these players, they're going to replace them with other players you've never heard of, and they're going to continue to do what they've done. You know what I mean? And that is what teams do. It's the same with Ajax. Ajax sell players every single season, 3-4 players, and they still end up doing the same thing the next year, bro, because they have a system in it. And when people understand the system that works, you'll never miss a player. How did Liverpool sell Coutinho and then win the Champions League? Coutinho left to win the Champions League and Liverpool won it before him.
But you know what? A lot of our players, but you know what? A lot, and I love it. And I don't care when people say, you know, so for example, people call Gini a system player or Trent a system player. I don't care. It's the system that's winning us these things. I don't really care about the name of the player or the level of the player. Ultimately, it's making Liverpool win league and Champions League. I don't care how much skill that man's got or the source or how good he is. Oh, look, he's got tech. I don't give a shit. If he's a system player, he's a Liverpool player. And as Turkish was saying earlier, I don't care about anything else except what he's done for my club. And he's balling for my club. Call him a system player. Call him what you want. I don't give a shit. You know, it's fans' perceptions of types of players they want in their team or what a player should be. No, it's what he should bring to your team. That's what counts.
Yeah. 100%.
Man's just Atlanta there. Exactly another example. What an example.
Another team.
Atlanta.
But there you go. Look, that's what I mean. Sevilla. That's what I mean. Sheffield United, Wolves. Sevilla were very well coached, bro. They undone us. You know what I mean? We had loads of the ball and they just took us apart. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. If you get a good coach with good players, yeah, you will win trophies, innit? Do you know what I mean? But you can have a very good coach with meaty players and they can still do stuff. Like, I'm tired of the excuses that people make for Oli, like he's got crap players. He don't have crap players because I know there's managers out there that could do more with the man that he's got.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying I feel like a lot of these players get hung out to dry because actually the coaching's crap. Honestly.
Yeah. No, you're right, 100%. You think what Pogba's reputation got killed by Jose Mourinho and that style of football at Man United. Same way when Louis van Gaal was there, it didn't bode well for maybe Angel Di Maria, because sometimes the system doesn't suit the player.
Yeah.
And then the player doesn't look good, and the player is easy to criticize because the player's on hundreds of thousands a week, and so it's always the go-to. Instead of fans never look. Very few fans take a step back and analyze the bigger picture. And when you do that, you're accused of being negative, or you're accused of not supporting the team like you should. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture in football now is all that matters. It's the bigger picture. It's what you're doing behind the scenes that translate onto the pitch. And if we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, then we are blindly supporting what's going on the pitch. Whether that's United, whether that's Arsenal, whether that's Liverpool, and at the different levels we are at, behind the scenes matters so much now. I wish it didn't. I wish I didn't give a shit about everything else. I wish I just cared about the 11 and the 6 subs like I used to. I don't want to know about the finances. I don't want to know about the coaching tactics behind the scenes. I don't want to know who the fuck the coaches are. Growing up, I don't know who anyone was but the manager and assistant manager and the team. Nobody else. Now we know about this coach. Now we know about a Portuguese guy coming in here or a Spanish guy coming in. Who cares, blood? They're coaches. Get the job done on the pitch, and then I might want to know who the hell the coaches are.
It's this culture, innit? As you're right. Like growing up, I never used to know who the sporting director was, or do you know what I mean? Who was the head of analytics?
Who cares?
It's a total different. It's a total different generation now, and every detail of a club is sort of scrutinized, and sometimes it just adds to the pressure. Sometimes it adds to the chaos. Sometimes it adds to the mentality of fans to just vent for no reason. If you didn't have that information, you might be more relaxed about your team. But the fact that sporting director, yeah, man, he done a bad boy job at Seville. Yeah, he's gonna come and implement. Yeah, this guy is the head of analytics at Atlanta. Yeah, so we're gonna bring him in. It just fucks with your mind for no reason. You don't need to know that extra information. You just need to know who your team is, how it's performing, and what he's doing about it. Really.
That's it. Exactly. That's it.
Is it, bruv? Too much emphasis on all the backroom nonsense, bro. That's why too many United fans think that Ferguson did everything himself, bro, because he was the face, bro. Nobody cared about, do you know what I mean, what David Gill was doing and everyone else was doing, bro. No one cared, man. Do you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden it's like this director, that director, this, that, and the other. So many chefs in the flipping kitchen, bro. Like, we just want to see our teams play good football, recruit the right players, do their job. They're saying United got the most number of scouts or something in football. What's the point? If you're always overpaying for players, what's the point in having any scouts? What's the point? Every time someone signs for someone else, United could have signed them 2 years before, but you didn't. So who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of these stories, bro. Like, there's a clear lack of efficiency when it comes to these guys, bro. And it's just kind of like, we just want to see our teams just do what they're meant to do, innit? Like, at the end of the day, bruv. And it's none of this YouTube compilation nonsense, bruv. Like, man, just want to see them get the right players over the line. And that's the one thing with Chelsea now. It seems like Chelsea are recruiting in every single area that they needed to recruit in. Do you know what I mean? There's not one signing that Chelsea have made that people weren't screaming, Rara, they need this. People saying, oh yeah, Chelsea haven't touched the defense. Well, boy, they're saying that they didn't secure the defense, but guess what, bruv? Man signed 2 centre-backs, so what now?
And Chilwell.
And a left-back. So people were saying, oh, do you know what I mean? So they needed that. They needed more creativity for all the possession they have. And then they go out there, they sign Ziyech. They go and get a goal scorer, Werner, because Tammy Abraham's not good enough. All the places they needed to strengthen, they've just gone out and strengthened. And yes, they haven't got the same restrictions as everyone else because of their owner, etc., etc. But at least it shows a clear direction and a statement of intent that I'm not seeing from a lot of the other clubs.
Yeah. 100%.
No, I'd say they've secured. I think they've secured third. Like with that spend and what they've done in recruitment drive. I don't think they're going to be challenging. I hope I don't get to eat my words, you know what I mean? But I can't see them challenging for the title. But you know what? I think they've got a step or two clear of United and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Spurs. You know, they've capitalized on the gap in the market, and the hesitancy. Like every big club is scared. I get that they've got an owner that's pretty mad when it comes to shit like this. Like, man's playing his fantasy football in real life. I get that, and it's hard to compete with, but you can compete with it by being smart. We can't just sit on our hands and say, yeah, let him do what he wants. There is ways big clubs can be smart about it. Of course, they can go out and spend 200 million. Not every club can do that, but you can spend 80, 90, 100 million and be smart about it.
The Turkish, that's for you.
Yeah.
Saying, what do you think of the goalkeeping situation?
I would keep Martinez number one. I think Arteta has transformed. You see, this one's an easy one for me. You know, Arsenal are there's very few positions Arsenal are good in. And I think goalkeeper right now, we're good. We've got two keepers that still have to prove themselves, but you're not in a bad position when you've got two good-looking keepers that are out to prove themselves still. Who do you go in within the season? It has to be Martinez. There's no other option. And I don't say that because I'm saying Martinez is better than Leno. I'm just saying that because to keep both at the club right now, you need to go in with Martinez as number one. You now put Leno as number one. Martinez hands in a transfer request. You need to sort out a backup keeper. You go in with Martinez number one. Leno will understand, because Leno will look at his performances and say, you know what, I get it. I'm just going to wait for my chance and reclaim my throne. That should be the attitude he has. Now, I can't pick between them. I'm not going to forget everything Leno's done for Arsenal the last couple of years, man of the match performances. He was runner-up in the player of the season last season for us. I can't forget all that. But at the same time, I'm not going to dismiss the impact Martinez has made in the short term. So in short, you start Martinez to keep both happy and both at the club at the moment, but you make that decision over the next year and implement it next summer, whether that's Martinez number one and you sell Leno, or Leno number one and you sell Martinez. Get it done next summer.
Do you know what? I just want to add on to that. That's one of the signs of, in my opinion, a strong-headed coach. And I think Arteta, looking from the outside, he's the type to say, whoever's got possession of the shirt and performs for me is going to stay and play for me. I don't care if your name's Lacazette, Pepe, Saka. You know, I don't care. Martinez in this case. I think Arteta's got minerals to tell people what's playing well, unless it's rotation, like for sort of, you know, freshness, whatever. Obviously, goalkeepers don't need to be rotated, obviously. But what I'm saying, generally, if Arteta has got anything about him, he's going to spread that throughout the squad, you see. He's going to tell the players, listen, I don't care how much you're on. I don't care how many Instagram followers you got or whatever. All I'm interested in is if you play good in that Arsenal shirt, you're keeping it. And that's why I think he played Martinez, because, I like that keeper, you know. I'm telling you, even to the end of the season, he looked solid.
Very, very. Like I said, I can't pick between them right now, bro. You know, I don't know. At the moment, it's easier to say Martinez because we've just seen the impact he's made.
Yeah.
And that's why I go in with him as number one. You know, but we're in one position. We are good. You know, that's mad to me as an Arsenal fan. So let's just keep it that way. Martinez number one. I see someone said you need to go into the season with your number one. Who is Arsenal's number one? On paper, it's Bernd Leno. But at the moment, there's an argument that can be made for both. So you are right. In an ideal world, you go into the season with your number one. But at the same time, we've got two keepers that are vying for that position and not vying at a low level. That they performed very well to make their claim.
Yeah, bro. And someone's saying, Chelsea didn't. Sorry, this geezer saying Chelsea didn't spend last summer. Finish what you're saying, Grizz, and then I'll get to that.
I was going to ask you about your keeping situation, because I find that intriguing and interesting. You know, because you know, I just want to think. What are you saying about Henderson and De Gea? What should happen there in your opinion?
I'd play Henderson, bro. You know what I mean? I'd play Henderson, but that's just me. I'm not sold on De Gea. I think De Gea is washed, bro. Like, honestly, I was screaming to get rid of man before he got the new deal. Like, when he was asking for like 350 grand, I was like, get him out of here, bro. He's not playing like a 350 grand goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? I said then, even before the Henderson stuff, I was like, bro, just go and bring in Kasper Schmeichel or something. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Because for the amount of money, 350 grand for a goalie. Piss off, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And Oblak's on half of that. And Oblak's twice the goalkeeper that De Gea is. Like, De Gea needs to get out of here with that kind of them kind of wages and the performances he's putting in. It's a disgrace, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that his attitude's right. He shouldn't be on that money. And the fact that he's on that money and his performances have still deteriorated, it shows a lack of drive and a lot of complacency, because De Gea's not old, bro. He's not old. He hasn't had no significantly long injuries. So this lack of form is purely down to complacency, bro. That's what it's down to. It's not down to nothing else, you know. Or it's down to a lack of concentration, which again isn't good enough. Because De Gea's best seasons for Man United have been when we've been shit. So what De Gea is telling me, yeah, is that he can only play and go well, yeah, when he's getting fucking shots fired at him for the whole game. So clearly he lacks concentration, bro. Because the top goalkeepers can make the saves when they've had nothing to do all game. That is what the top goalkeeper's meant to do. It's like if De Gea's not busy, he does stupidness, bro. Do you know what I mean? So that means he doesn't have the concentration levels to be a goalkeeper at the top of the game right now, bro. And again, that's not worth 350 bags. I'd get rid of him. I'd get him off the wage bill, and I'd look at the wage structure, because they brought in Henderson on 130 grand a week. What for, bruv? Like, what for? They gave him a new deal, 130 grand. They gave Brandon 70k or something, bruv. How are you on money, yeah? Man's on like Trent money and that, yeah? And you're shit. I don't care. Brandon Williams ain't good. In 3 years, he won't be at Manchester United. Maybe in 2 years, I don't think he will be. And if he is, he won't be starting. He'll be there on the bench riding out his contract, because no one's going to take his wages from us. 70 grand a week for what? What's he done in football?
Rants, you sound like me and Arsenal right now, fam. I've got a smile, man. Everything you just said, it relates to Arsenal. It sounds like you're talking about Ozil, fam.
Bruv, what has he done in football? 70 bags a week. No one's going to want to take him. That's why Phil Jones is on our bench on 110k, laughing. He don't want to play football. He's like, what the football thing? 110 grand, Phil Jones. No, I'm here, I'm happy. He signed a 4-year deal like the other day. I think like a season and a half ago. Why are you giving Phil Jones a new deal?
It kills the hunger.
Crazy.
It kills the hunger.
Bro.
It kills the passion. It kills the desire. You got Gini Wijnaldum, a world champion, European champion, on the same money as Brandon Williams. Fuck off.
You see what I mean, my guy?
You know, it's stupid.
You see what I mean, bro?
Them things epitomize the problems at Arsenal and United now. You look at the wage we're United, and they've essentially, Man United are a beast, but they've been held up against the wall by people like De Gea. Same way Arsenal, we're a beast too, but we're not a beast at United. But we've been held up against the wall by our necks, by Ozil, by Kolasinac, by Mustafi. Like Mustafi, Socrates, Luiz, all on 100k a week. Kolasinac on 120k. You know, like what's going on, bro? Like, so that epitomizes the mismanagement that both clubs have gone through. You look at the wage and you see what we've done to ourselves, and you think, right, no wonder we are where we are, bro.
Mad. And this guy said about Chelsea.
Goalkeeper situation.
Yeah, go on. Back to the keeper situation.
Back to the keeper situation. You know, it's one of the hardest positions, right? And to sort of know when your keeper's done, because you always think, he's having a blip. But you know, top of my head, you know, for us, like Pepe Reina was having too many blips at the end, and our coach didn't see it at the end. He waited. Peter Cech, right, started making too many errors for Chelsea, or even Arsenal. When you know, in my opinion, they bought him when he was washed. You know what I mean? Again, another example. De Gea, again, he's making not like one mistake, like every 15 games, like keepers are allowed to. They're human. He started making an error, a glaring error every 4 or 5 games, it seems. It's mad. But that's where Alex Ferguson was the king, man. He knew when to turf, man. Don't care about who you are, what your name is, anything. Turf, get him out. And that's where, you know, that's when you can start getting weak with, because Ole ain't got the ball. Look, I asked Rants, but I know the answer already, even though I'm not a United fan. Ole ain't got the balls or the nerve or anything about him to drop De Gea. I guarantee you.
None. bro. Even in the cup, even in the European game, bro, a man dropped what's his name for De Gea. He never should have, bro. Like we play Romero in all the European competition.
Romero.
Yeah, we play him in all of them. Then you bring De Gea in. Yeah, I think it was it the FA Cup? I think it's the FA Cup or something like that. Or no, the League Cup. We always play Romero in the League Cup. Play De Gea, makes a mistake, bro. Shouldn't have played him in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And this is what it is. It's like, bruv, you don't have the balls for these kind of decisions, bro. Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, as a manager, you get judged by the big decisions you make, innit? Like, that's what you get judged
and whereas I think Arteta, now, you know, it seems like I'm speaking like a deluded gunner, right? But it seems like Arteta's got the minerals to make these hard decisions, because some of his team lineups, he's dropped the big boys. Yeah. He's changed it around. You know, you suddenly see a team lineup and he's got all Nketiah playing ahead of Lacazette, or Saka playing ahead of Pepe. It seems like he don't care about rep.
He doesn't, and he shouldn't, because the system is the only thing that matters, and it's the system and the team will come before any individual player. That's how it's meant to be. So if you can't drop certain man, do you know what I mean, in certain moments, it shows that you don't have faith in your system, innit? And Ollie's shown me that on several occasions, bro. Several occasions. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this season pans out as a whole. This guy keeps saying that Chelsea didn't spend last summer. People are saying Chelsea spending the Hazard money well, all of these things. What you have to realize is, it's got nothing to do with that. Because when you look at the COVID situation, if Abramovich was a different kind of owner, he could have said, you know what, the amount of money I've lost, I'm just going to take it out of the transfer budget. Because that's what everyone else is doing, but Chelsea aren't doing that. So it's testament to the owner. It's got nothing to do with the Hazard money. Because as far as I'm concerned, that money got swallowed up by COVID-19, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, these big football clubs are losing, like, I've read something like half a million quid a month or something like that, pretty much since, or a week even, some of them. Do you know what I mean? Half a million a week, bruv. 2 million a month. These football clubs are losing, bro. No gate receipts, no this, no that. 2 million a month for 6 months and that.
Liverpool,
you know what I mean?
Losing 4 million. Liverpool are losing 4 million a month. Facts. 4 million a month.
You see what I mean? 4 million a month, bro.
4 million.
So they've lost nearly 25 million. You see what I'm saying?
That's a
so as far as I'm
concerned,
that
right there.
There you go. So if they've lost 25 million during this COVID thing, then the fact that your owner is still spending money is testament to his hunger and what he sees for the club. It's got nothing to do with the Hazard money, because that Hazard money is gone, innit? Make no mistake about it. He's spending that money out of his own pocket. And then this one saying Liverpool spend less money than United and Arsenal, but their recruitment's on point. It shows it's a recruitment issue, not a spending one. Of course it is. But it's also a recruitment issue and having the right man in place as well. Because when you've got the right man in place, recruitment becomes a lot easier. Do you know
it's about streamlining your recruitment, you know? Like you got your scouts there, cool, they're working behind the scenes. Then you got the scouts delivering the message to the maybe 2 individuals behind Arteta. That might include Edu. Then that gets fed to Arteta. And then Arteta's feeding it back to the scouts. So it's all streamlined, you know? If you don't have that streamlined approach, then the scouts are buying players that the manager won't use or utilize in the best way. And then you have problems. You have square pegs in round holes, and it just won't work. So it needs to be streamlined from top to bottom. That includes ownership and that includes scouts.
We had some awful nastiness under Brendan Rodgers and Hodgson, and especially under Rodgers, where it was about committee versus, we had a committee and it was Rodgers, and Rodgers' ego wouldn't let him just accept the committee's decisions. Well, we ripped that up, and credit. A lot of people criticize FSG, but we've done bad boy moves. We ripped that system up, and now we've got Edwards, Gordon, and Mike Gordon, right? And see, this is what I'm saying. I shouldn't know these man's names, but the modern day fan knows these man's names, right?
It's mad. Gordon, I get you, bro.
It's Edwards, Gordon, and Klopp, and 3 wise men. That's it. Our scouting network report back to Edwards. He puts it forward to Klopp, and Klopp has the final say. But all 3 are working in tangent. And if one of them doesn't agree, and that player's not bought. So, for example, everyone's talking about, oh, we should have gone for Timo Werner. There's no doubt Klopp wanted Timo Werner, but one of those three didn't, and Klopp accepted it, and that's how the highly successful companies work. One man making a decision, because one man can make a bad decision, but when you've got three wise heads all agreeing, there's definitely more chance of it being correct. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in modern day football, people act like, oh, you need to attain Werner to achieve the next goals you set yourself. But at a certain time, they're only saying that because Werner is the hot name at the moment. You know, Liverpool might now go, because they've rejected the Werner thing, go find another gem all of a sudden that people are talking about in 2 years. You know, so I completely understand.
This is it, man. So ultimately, the structure and the setup like plays a massive part at your football club. You know what I mean? And that's what we're seeing right now with lack of investment or investment. Like the woman at Chelsea's doing absolute madness right now, bro. Do you know what I mean? Brought in Thiago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're getting fees down for players. Do you know what I mean? Like Ziyech was not expensive. Timo Werner was not expensive. His overall package might have been expensive, but getting a player of that caliber for that fee, you have to respect it, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not too many big players in European football right now that are going to give you the output that he gives you. And then even the Kai Havertz thing, I'm hearing that they're only paying something like 70 up front, and the rest is all add-ons and stuff like that, which when you actually look at his capabilities is actually a decent deal. Do you know what I mean? So Chelsea have been doing what they needed to do. You have to respect it, bro. Like this whole argument of the COVID market and this, that, and the other, and Chelsea spending last season's thing, I think it's nonsense. I think they've just got an owner that understands that if they don't spend, they're not going to compete in it. And I think that United's owners don't care about competing. That's why they're not spending. And Arsenal's owners don't care about competing, bro. Do you know what I mean? They don't care about competing.
Abramovich loves winning, fam. He loves winning. That difference. If you love winning, you're going to try. If you love money, you're going to look at the bottom line at the end of the year. And we've got owners that care about the bottom line, and Chelsea got an owner that cares about winning. That's the reality of it. It's sickening, fam.
Absolutely, man. Big up everyone for tuning in. Solid numbers all the way through. Make sure you smash the like. Obviously, make sure you follow the boys on Twitter. Grizz still isn't on flipping. You're still not on YouTube, bruv. When is that coming?
Yeah, I know. This COVID business, man. I'm gonna talk like an Arsenal owner and a United owner. You know what I mean? This COVID disrupted my plans, but we see where I go and see if I can sort something out, man, for this coming up season.
But that's what I'm saying. But make sure you follow the boys on Twitter, Instagram. Follow Turkish's Twitter. We got a show coming back on Tuesday, here, and then again Friday on his channel, guys. So we're active. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
man,
what's that?
It's been a good debate.
Tuesday 6 p.m. on your channel. Friday 6 p.m. on my channel.
Yeah.
You got another like super chat sticker there as well before we go.
It just says super sticker. I don't know what that is, blood. Some Aston Villa sticker, bro. Man sent me some Aston Villa. Yeah, there's none of that.
Love
Villa
for
stuff
it.
here, mate.
Love for it anyway.
Repping Villa.
Love my guy. Man had to send the Villa badge over here, bro. You know what I mean? But nah, man.
I'm going live on my channel in a couple of hours as well. I'll probably go live at 2:30, 3 o'clock. So yeah,
there you go.
Any Arsenal fans there. If you're easily offended, stay away. If you're easily offended, stay away.
Bro, that's what I tell people, man. This channel, bro, man, are just talking football. We're talking sense. I'm not here for this tribal nonsense, bro. Like it's a football channel. There's too much tribal crap all over football Twitter and all over YouTube, innit? If you want that stuff, you're not gonna see it here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This ain't the channel for you. Do you know what I mean? Man are speaking football topics as objectively as possible, man. If you want this flipping top red nonsense, like this is not the station. Do you know what I mean? So big up everyone that's tuned in. You know what I mean? And we'll definitely catch you lot